come close to paying for it. It's caused division not only among Republicans and Democrats, but some Democrats who think, well, the leadership's going too far. Brandon Arnold, the National Taxpayer Union Executive Vice President, with us now. Brandon, when a number of key Democratic senators, for example, see what's being cooked up in the House, start expressing concern about these tax hikes, you have to wonder what its fate looks like. What are you hearing?
Yeah, I agree. The fate of this bill is very much up in the air because the more people hear about it, the more they don't like it. The size of the bill, of course, has come under a great deal of attention. Senators Manchin and Sinema have pushed back against that. Senator Tester has raised some concerns about paying for the bill because they certainly use budget gimmicks here in order to pretend to pay for the bill. It's not true. Even Senator Warner, a moderate from Virginia, has expressed some concerns about the magnitude of these tax increases, the corporate rate in particular, which could very much damage American competitiveness at a very, very important time in our economic history. And on top of that, disadvantage a lot of American workers by passing down those tax increases to workers who could see lower take-home pay. That's a real concern for moderate Democrats right now.
Let's say the $2+ trillion in tax hikes they're looking at gets whittled down to only $1.5 trillion. I don't know. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. What are its prospects in the House versus if it ever gets to the Senate?
Well, they've got problems on the House side, too, of course. I think the biggest issue that they have over there is the SALT deduction, the state and local tax deduction. That was not put into the bill at all. Of course, the 2017 tax reform legislation capped that deduction at $10,000. It made blue state Democrats absolutely livid, and they want what they call relief in this piece of legislation. It didn't come, or it hasn't come yet in the House bill. And there are some Democrats, particularly from high tax states like New York, California, New Jersey, Maryland, that say they won't support this legislation unless Democrats fix it. Of course, it's extraordinarily expensive to do so. If they put a full fix in there, you're talking about $500 billion. $500 billion that'll flow to wealthy Americans in those wealthy states. So it's a huge problem for them. And I don't know how you can go out to a fancy dinner and wear a dress that says tax the rich and be all over the newspapers accordingly, and then turn around and vote for $500 billion in tax cuts for wealthy Americans.
Yeah, the latest talk is that they're going to try to tier that so that the upper income can't take advantage of it if they do rescind the cap. But it's a mess and far, far from getting done. Brandon, thank you very, very much. So, again, that's the debate in the House and getting approval here. You know, Nancy Pelosi can only afford to lose 3